So I'm going to be showing you the capabilities of the MBD macro that I made. So firstly, I have MBDVidia open right here. And the first thing you want to do is you want to go, if you haven't already set keyboard shortcuts for your geometrical and dimensional tolerances, you can go into this menu here, hit customize, and then go into tools and scroll down here, and create dimensional tolerance should be set to D, and create geometrical tolerance should be set to G. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to show you what it would look like if I were to annotate this model just manually without the macro. Okay, so let's say I want to create a dimensional tolerance for this hole right here. So I can hit D as I bound it to before. Let's say feature size, hit this feature, and then I can say, type in the values that I'm given. So let's say it's 0.05, hit apply. And then let's say I want to create a distance. So hit D again to open it up. Go over here, distance. Let's say between this face and this face. And let's say this one is 0.002 and 0.002. And then one more time, let's create another distance one here between this face and this face. And let's say this one's 0.02 and this one's 0. Okay. And then let's say I wanted to create a geometrical tolerance. So I hit G. Let's go to the circle and this one. Let's say it's 0.02. Yep, and then G again, and let's say we have a flatness one as well. So 0.0 here, 0.005, and hit apply. Okay, so as you can see, there are some very repetitive tasks that you have to do, and so I made this script to hopefully remedy that. Okay, so let me clear these annotations. And then I'm going to run the script. I can run it through VS Code. You can also do the same thing by double-clicking the exe file in the folder. Okay, so firstly, this graphic pops up in the top left to show you that the macro is on. Okay, so let's say we were going to do a same thing where we can hit D to open up the distance tolerance. And now you can see there's another graphic here that pops up. This means that the macro is active for the dimensional tolerances, which means that it's listening for a certain amount of mouse clicks, and then the macro will activate. So we're in here, the macro is activated, and we're on feature size. Let's say I just wanted to create one here. As you can see, after I clicked, there's a pop-up box. Let's say I want to enter 0.05, and then it does everything for me. Now, let's do the same thing. I hit D. Let's say I want to make a distance. Now, instead of going over here and clicking it, I can hit Alt-2, Alt-3, Alt-4, Alt-1 to choose the dimensional tolerances that I want. So Alt-3 is going to give me distance. So I want the distance between this face and this face. Pops up the pop-up again. I can just type in one value, 0.01, hit enter. Does the rest for me. Okay, and and as you can see, this is a lot quicker than if you were to do it the manual way. So now let's say we wanted to create a geometrical tolerance. So I'm going to hit G to open the menu up. As you can see, this graphic shows up showing that the macro is active for the geometrical tolerance. I'm going to, and this menu also automatically opens up. So I'm going to hit the tolerance that I want. I'm going to hit the face that I want. It's going to open the pop-up again. And let's say it's 0.05. Hit enter. It's going to automatically put that value in. Now I can do whatever I need in this box here. And I can click this check mark, or I can hit enter and it'll move my mouse for me. Okay, now let's say that I was in dimensional tolerance mode, and I actually decided that I don't want to be in this mode anymore. I can always just hit right click and it'll cancel it out. Same thing if I were to go in D, Alt the B to choose distance, and then the two faces that I want, and it pops something up. I can just hit right click and it'll close everything out for me. Same thing with geometrical tolerance. I hit G. Let's say I accidentally click this and then I click this feature here. It's gonna open up the pop-up still because it doesn't know. I'm just gonna hit right click and it's gonna cancel out of everything. Okay, so now there's the situation where, let's say you wanted to create a dimensional tolerance, but it wasn't a symmetrical one. Because right now, what the macro does is it makes it so the same value is inputted for the positive and negative tolerance. So I'm gonna hit D to go into dimensional tolerance again, Alt 3 to go to distance. Let's do the distance between this face and this face. It's gonna open up the pop-up, and now I can hit the tilde key to close that out, and then I can manipulate this however I want. 0.05, let's say 0.05 and 0. And then I can hit the check mark, or I can hit enter. Okay, now let's say I have the dimensional tolerance open. I hit Alt 3. I am going through the motions. I hit tilde to close it, but then actually I realize that I do want the macro to pop up again. I can just hit Alt plus D for the dimensional tolerance, and then I can enter my value, 0.02, and it will work as intended. The same thing you can do with geometrical tolerance. I hit G there. Let's say I can do this, and then I can hit tilde. I can manipulate it if I want, or I can hit Alt G this time and open up the tolerance 0.05, and then it will do everything, or it will enter the value for me. I can hit enter. And at any point of the process, you can always just hit right click to exit out of the tolerance mode and the macro. And if at some point the macro malfunctions or something like that, you can hit Alt E and it will cancel out of the macro. But it's still active. So even though this disappeared, if I tab back into the window, you can see it pops up again, meaning that the script is still active. It just means that all of the running processes have been stopped for that, though. And at a certain point, when you're done using the software and you wanted to exit out of the entire thing, you can just hit Alt X, and it will exit out of everything. As you can see, this is gone. Even if I Alt Tab it back in, it's still not running anymore. And that is the capabilities of the MBD macro. Thank you for watching.